lanes, because when you're forced back, you have an opportunity to purchase, but it means you might get shoved into your turret.
Yeah, you have a longer time period or longer distance to get back to the lane, so therefore those backs have got to be more well-timed, especially before that jungle shot becomes available.
Yeah, you should be absolutely sure that if you're backing, you have a very, very good reason for it. Because right now, you might see Ingenious might be losing some CS right there.
I think it's really interesting. Like, obviously we have our junglers here, and you want to be taking your regen camps, but you can do those really interesting things, right? So you give it to one laner, you can prioritize another, and then just move through the map or stay in the lane. Right here, things are a little bit more quiet than our PvE match.
Yeah, they are a little bit more calculated. The PvE guys, they loved to brawl. They looked for those fights all the time, but this is a more traditional style of play you'd expect from our pro players, a bit more calculated. PQQ looking for an opportunity to go aggressive here. Will get spotted out by that scout cam. Suddenly, counter jungling is a little bit harder to do.
Yeah, you can see right now, Chingy spotted out that scout cam too, so very well placed by Mango, making sure that if there's a game coming, he'll be just fine.
It's a delicious mid lane right here.
Chingy's looking for that afterburn.
And he's got the stun there. Stormforge Spear from downtown. He got him. First blood, SEA.
Look at that combination. Chingy's gonna...
PQQ's here, though. Healing flash from Chingy. This is PQQ. He has the movement speed. He has the damage. One more attack will be able to take him down. Look at that. Healing is so good. PQQ able to finally get a kill. Jump jets in. Royale comes into the lane. SNK is going to be looking for some hook and chains. Misses his first. That's a pretty long cooldown. It looks like he will respect the power of East Asia.
East Asia has adapted really, really well. When they started off playing against SEA and scrims, they were getting crushed, and they seem to have really adapted to how they want to play this early game. They are playing VV Roya on Baron. Now, Baron is a very strong hero in 5v5. You thought splash damage basic attacks were good in 3v3. Splash damage basic attacks in 5v5 are even more so.
A little bit of a stun coming out. Kiz peeling for his teammate there. But as you said, obviously, the splash damage is going to be huge. I would expect to see this SEA team kind of stay spread out to avoid taking that damage, though.
Yeah, just look at the minimap, though. East Asia doing a very good job dropping those scout counts all across the map. Southeast Asia, they do have a couple on their side, but you do see they're placing a few more down. And it's really interesting seeing what the priorities are for both these teams.
This is what I mean about gank positions. Look at Chingy. He's coming in from almost next to the turret right there, looking for that opportunity to get an afterburn again onto Mango to give an advantage over to Spaghetti. Spaghetti is likely going to be the hero on Varia that they play around this composition. They might leave Vox in the side lane split pushing.
I think it's so cool, especially with this fog of war. You can really tell exactly where and when your opponents will see you coming, as long as you do have a scout cam down for yourself and know that you're not being seen. These guys are just pushing it to the max, hanging out right on the edge of these walls.
So Chingy's doing a lot of roaming around the map here, just making to look sure he impacts every single lane. Junglers are so impactful in 5v5 because you have so many more decisions. As a jungler in 3v3, you would gank one lane, or you'd gank on counter jungle your opponent's jungle. Now you can gank bot, mid, top, counter jungle both sides. You can do a hell of a lot of stuff on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the great things about being a jungler, or even a support or a roam, is that you can put so much pressure just by not being on the map. If your opponents can't see you, they're scared.
Exactly. There are only limited places that you could really be on the 3v3 map. Now, there are infinitely more possibilities where you could actually be in those vision, those scout cams. That is what's going to allow you to be able to push a lane without fear, be able to look for counter jungling opportunities, because if you're just not on the map, if you're in that fog of war, no one knows where you are.
I think it also makes abilities like your Heliogenesis pretty powerful as well, to be able to hang back and throw that down, to see who's lurking in that brush and keep yourself safe. Actually, Mango can stay on an island, you see, by himself pretty well. There's 3 heroes from both teams down in this bottom lane. PQQ is looking to maybe play around. He knows that Chingy's hanging out in that brush. Now, here is exactly what you can see. This is East Asia, doesn't have the vision in the brush there. We're kind of toggling that vision on and off, just to let you know exactly how that's working out for this team.
No reflex blocks currently on SNK or on Aeon, and PQQ is now level 6, that classic Koshka level 6. She can look for an engage with that yummy catnip frenzy, look to combo off the heavy damage that VV Royale has invested in. 2 6-ins and a heavy steal. He will hit pretty hard. There's the vision for PQQ.
PQQ, have you overstepped yourself? Sure does look like it. Spaghetti takes him down. Hits him with the first chain lightning there. It's pretty tasty. Southeast Asia up 2-1, and a lot of pressure coming out here.
And Zekan, what we're seeing here is a true laning phase for Vainglory. You know, a real period of the game where you as a laner have a direct impact on how you perform and your team performs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is something that we very much wanted to ensure that we had in Vainglory's 5v5. We wanted to make sure that if you enjoy that laning phase, you had the opportunity. But if you like those roams, you can do those too.
There's really smart vision that just went down. 7 minutes and 20 seconds. They dropped the scout cam. Black Claw has landed. So you can already see the high strategical value of this item coming out here with these pro teams.
And EA have really adapted to those timings, knowing that Black Claw is a very powerful objective. If you look back to that PvE online game that we just saw, a single Black Claw take pushed all the way through to the armory. So it is such an important objective to retain control of.
Yeah, those objectives on the map, both Ghostwing and Black Claw, the longer the game goes, the stronger they are. So if you get those in the 20-minute, 25-minute mark, they're incredibly powerful for your team. However, early on, they'll do some good pushing still.
Yeah. Looks like Uni up in the top lane, Poison Shift build. Not much changing for Vox in this circumstance. Ingenious working towards a Serpent's Mask, so the Poison Shift versus the Serpent's Mask up in the top lane. Vivi is left by himself right now, and I've got to say, Aeon and SNK, they are not letting up on the push.
Why would they at this point? I mean, they have control. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to control that lane, especially with you have Chingy rotating around from the top to the bottom. By the time your jungler shows up, if you have control of the lane, you're ready to capitalize.
Yeah, EA is actually playing a very tempered game right now. Ingenious and PQQ running into Chingy could be a little bit dangerous.
They were looking for a roam. They're looking for a roam to get onto Spaghetti, because Spaghetti has been unhindered in his farm. They're going to continue here. Block comes through.
Nice block on that Yummy Catnip Frenzy. Ingenious will be able to get back here. SNK making the rotation up into the lane. Right there, Chingy actually dropped down his scout cam, revealing his opponents. That's why he didn't get ganked there. Now Chingy goes in, bursts down. They juggle that damage and manage to stay alive. So huge plays out of East Asia there. Yeah,
Chingy going a little bit over aggressive. Those turrets hit really hard. You have to be very aware of them. But again, the damage has already been done to the EA composition. VV Kiz has got to essentially roam up here to prevent this turret going down. It is a slow, grinding process for SEA, but they are slowly winning the mid and the bot lane pushes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's such an incredibly important thing in this game. If your turret is under siege, you need to be able to rotate to help your allies. Push out your lane, rotate to another lane, make sure that those turrets do not fall.
Spaghetti with that chain lightning is going to continue to shove these waves. You thought Varia was good at shoving lanes in 3v3. She's darn good at shoving lanes in 5v5 as well.
That she is. However, Vivica is doing some good work chasing down Spaghetti.
Yeah, I think just a nice harass there. So, of course, when your laner does make it back out, suddenly he has the advantageous position. A lot of damage coming out here, minion candy. It's just a slow siege, and this turret will be going down fairly soon if he doesn't get a little bit of reinforcements. Kiz finally here. He'll block off the stun. It's going to be quite all right for now. And they're not going to be diving just yet. Now, Trespass stun coming in, but the Fountain's out. Royal stays alive. PQQ is now here. Fearsome Shade peels them off. That was definitely a kill, but the Yummy Cat and Frenzy comes in. They got the stun. Now the chase is on. Porcupine Mortars, the splash damage. Aeon, you're in a dangerous place. Jump jets, he will go down. That was going to be the Koshka picking up the kill there. A little Torment back. East Asia taking a lot of damage from the turret. They peel off. A nice engage.
Yeah, but they have lots of commitment to this top lane, and they get a turret for it. This is classic 5v5 strategy. You draw attention to a side lane, and you take something elsewhere on the map. I've got to say, I've been impressed with PQQ, though, using that heavy movement speed buff that Koshka has to navigate this map, the very big, expansive map that 5v5 is, to look to roam and impact, counter gank as well. He's been so good.
Yeah, that's an incredibly important point. Being able to be at the right place at the right time is much harder in a 5v5.
And Humanist, 100% kill participation for PQQ. He knows how to navigate, he knows where those pressure points are, and it's very intuitive. He's picked it up already.
You're pretty good at math as well, Scoundrel. I do appreciate that, and that's one of the reasons, of course, we have you here. And, you know, another thing, we see a lot of heroes piling up in the mid lane. They make these rotations to top and to bottom so incredibly fast, moving with that River Uni, dancing around Ingenious, putting out the damage. We're going to look for an on-point. No, he jumps in Fate of Heart, just chops him down. Chingy made the rotation around the bottom side. That's where their vision was. Spaghetti as well. And they're going to look to kind of cut him off here? No.
I think they're going to leave him as he is.
Looks like Anvil's Hammer's actually going to be coming through.
Yeah, tried to use that ultimate. Couldn't quite find him. But again, you know, something that's very interesting to note is usually when you play in 3v3 and you're up against a Baron, for instance, it gets to a certain point in the game, you know you're just not in a good position. Wait a second, they're going for a mid lane turret take. What a quick rotation from EA, and SEA put on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah, this is exactly what I want to see out of these teams. Being able to take advantage of their opponent's missteps. East Asia moving very quickly and rotating down.
Great rotation from East Asia.
Yeah, they have cut off the retreat. SNK's in a bad place. Can he keep himself alive? He's pretty tanky. No, he will go down. Now, all 5 of East Asia as a Solar Storm tears on through. They've taken 2 kills. Now what's the objective?
And this objective-focused play is exactly what we want to see. They're bringing time so that even though Southeast Asia is able to push down the side lane. They're going to lose a turret for it. And the second tier turrets are stronger. So East Asia, they're going to be able to get the first tier turret and potentially even defend their own.
Yuki coming in here to defend against Chingy. And something that I wanted to touch on, you go against the Baron in 3v3, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes plus, you're saying, okay, Baron's going to be very difficult to deal with. Wait a second.
Arc Recursion, they come on in. Spaghetti will take that one. Varia, incredibly mobile, huge burst potential. Stormforge Spear, they need to get back. Uni's going to go ahead and use that Sonic Zoom. Chingy's here for the peel. I doubt that they look to turn this around with actual damage. There's 4 from East Asia here. 532 damage on the crit. Now SNK, looks like we actually could have a legit team fight. Ion Cannon comes on through. Big damage onto Uni. SNK as well stands his ground. Trespass peels him over the top side. He'll go down. They block off this big fearsome shade coming on through. And now the chase is on. Solar Storm only will clip to Spaghetti as their target. But Arc Recursion as he dances backwards. Huge splash damage. They won't be able to get a kill off of that one, but you can see the output, the damage output potential here.
Look at the peeling that is going on for Southeast Asia. They are playing around Spaghetti, the afterburns, everything there designed to protect him.
Yeah, but look at the gold difference. Southeast Asia is actually ahead. East Asia, they have the 8 kills. Southeast Asia, they have the 3. But the turrets that Southeast Asia has taken has given this such a big lead.
Yeah, they've got huge leads in terms of turret takes at this point in time, and they have been able to push down all those different lanes. They're playing the map incredibly well. They want to avoid fighting the Baron on, head on. They want to be able to use the map to draw Baron to different areas. When you play against a Hypercarrier in 3v3, you have to face them head on to win the game. In 5v5, you don't. You can pull them one way, you can pull them the other, and you can exploit the map to avoid the win conditions of your enemy.
Absolutely. As long as you're just one step ahead of your opponent, you have a huge advantage. You never have to fight them, but you really should. If you can get a big enough gold lead, you can go for those big objectives and really take advantage of the map.
Now this is exactly what Southeast Asia can see. There's a gank happening here. Blast Tremor coming out of the brush. They didn't see that coming because they did not have their scout cams down there. East Asia controls vision on their side of the map right now. It's a huge strategical advantage for them. Now, Zekin, I wanted to talk a little bit about Blackclaw here on the map. There has been no attempt to take this objective yet, barring a fight. Let's break this down here in a second. Mango jumped on. PQQ there, Chingy. That's not the afterburn you wanted, but he has the burst damage. They find a kill. Chingy's overextended. Anvil Hammer's coming down. It's going to rain in across the map. Massive AoE damage coming up through. They retreat back. They lost 1, they lost 2, they lost 4. SEA, huge plays. This is at least a turret and more.
They could go for Blackclaw off the back of this. This is an easy rotate off the back of a turret take. They've got a long time before East Asia respawns, and Blackclaw will make his way to that mid lane and push down some more turrets.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a huge step for Southeast Asia because the moment they take out Blackclaw, Ghostwing is also on the field. Normally, you'd be able to contest it, but this time around, Southeast Asia, they're home free.
Why don't they kill the scout cam here? Did they just let that there?
That was their scout cam, right?
Oh, there was 2 in that.
Oh, right. I think one of them timed out eventually. That's a huge amount of vision control around the Blackclaw entrances for Southeast Asia. It has been unleashed for the Southeast Asian team. They're not there to support Blackclaw right now,
Oh, man. That dragon is badass.
He's pretty badass.
That dragon is tough, too. He's got the entire East Asia team on him. He's taking a lot of damage.
Is this the multi-bait? Are they going for
Ghostwing?
Are they going for Ghostwing at the same time?
East Asia knows this. There's a vision down all across, but they have to deal with this Blackclaw. That's where East Asia has focused. But okay, there's a push potential setup. We got 3 from SEA down in the bottom. You have 2 up in the top. A classic split push setup.
I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake coming out from SEA. They had the opportunity to get both objectives, but they decided to recall. And if they pushed with that Blackclaw, they could have taken many more turrets and even potentially the armory.
Exactly. They kind of wasted Blackclaw a little bit there. Maybe they didn't feel they were healthy enough to take EA on in a 5v5 with that Blackclaw pushing down as well. They tried to use that as a distraction to set up for this. They've split the map. It's a 2 and 3 split push right now. They're going to get the opening base of the final base turret in that lane as the rest of the SEA composition looks to push down this tier 2 turret in the bot.
SEA so smart. They jump forward. They have the aggression, the mobility. They're able to take Ingenious down. Now they're onto the armory, but what is EA going to do? They're caught in a fight down in the bottom. They're able to take a kill. They want more. That big blast Tremor actually coming through, doing a lot of work here for EA. Aeon wants to kite back. Anvil's hammer is coming out of that Varia. Does he have the damage to actually find the kills? Whale dropping low. Whale trying to trade out the damage.
So
he will run down. Big plays coming out of SNK to set his team up. And now Quiz just has to run on the back foot. It is a bloodbath across this map.
And this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. Being able to pull your opponents across the map, being one step ahead of them, taking that Black Claw, even though it looked like they just gave it up, they were able to take such a big advantage out of it.
Exactly, Zeke. It may feel like a Baron is going to scale into the late game and get a 5v5 and just obliterate everyone. But SEA are saying, we don't need to take a 5v5. We can go 2 and 3. We can split you across the map. And if you commit to a fight on the 3 members in the bot lane, we're going to take everything from the top lane. It is classic split push, and they are executing it so well.
Yeah, and you might see East Asia, they lost 1 army. This means that lane is going to be permanently pushing into their base. This is going to make it very difficult for them to make a comeback. However, Ghostwing is on the field. Southeast Asia, they're likely putting their eyes on it. And if they can get the scout camps, if they can get the vision control around it, it'll be fantastic for them.
That is actually so incredibly smart. They've balanced the map, so suddenly East Asia have to consistently apply resource up toward the top side of the map when the bottom side of the map is where they want to put their focus. I bet they're going to slow roll this one right now because there's no reason for them to actually force anything just yet.
So they've got vision control, Southeast Asia of Ghostwing right now. When you place a scout camera down and your opponent already has a scout camera there, you can get rid of their scout camera, which has allowed SEA to retain control of Ghostwing, and it's made it very awkward for EA. If they can't see SEA on the map, they're going to have to react, and they're going to have to react potentially to Ghostwing. They might move into a trap.
Yeah, I'd love to see what East Asia can see right now. Where are they scared?
There we go.
There we go. And that's
That is a
fantastic.
scary map right there.
They know they're in this side somewhere because there
Right.
is a scout camera just outside this bush.
So that was a great scout camp for them. It just completely saved them from face checking into a brush. And this means that they are more easily able to get more vision down.
Mango walks forward. He's knocked back. The wait for it's going to come down
Oh,
on the
he's
top
just
side.
gone!
They have lost there. So left. Huge blast shimmer. And suddenly they're falling like flies. It's traded 1 for 1 now. They're going to try and get back. Blackclaw has landed back on the map. Spaghetti will go down. Ingenious. He rose a bit forward, but knocked back. Chingy goes down. Huge plays coming out of Southeast Asia. Vivi Royale, he is now here. He has the burst damage, though. East Asia has stepped up.
The quad
They
kill!
have wiped them across the map. And suddenly, the prize is East Asia's.
Wow, that was playing right into East Asia's territory. They have a composition that is designed to function really well in a 5v5 scenario. The grouped up damage, Celeste Supernova, Baron Explosive, basic attacks. It's exactly what they wanted. But take a look at Ingenious. He has gone for that heavy dive, and Barrier is weak to people with really good gap closing. They can't even take Ghostwing. They don't have the damage. Ghostwing is just too powerful. Oh my word, Southeast Asia are going to have to think about their strategy. I don't know if they can go for a full 5v5 right now.
Yeah, they're a little bit split on their call right now. They're like, should we let it go? Should we keep taking it? And they
I mean, you
flip-flop a
want to
bit.
take it, right? But you have to, at some point, make that decision. And here's a replay we can break down just a touch.
Let's have a look at this. They look to make that initial engage, but look at Ingenious. He knows where his targets lie. He wants to go for Spaghetti. They focus.
just kidding.
Just kidding.
Blacklaw's unleashed.
But realistically, everybody barreled in on Mango, but they grouped up to barrel in on Mango. So Baron got huge damage off there. And when they split up and tried to split back, Ingenious went for the primary target, which is Spaghetti. Spaghetti is the sole hyper carry. Yeah, you have Vox, he's okay, but Spaghetti is the one that's hyper carrying here for SEA. Whereas there are a couple of hyper carries for East Asia. You've got to split your focus a little bit more. Even in some scenarios, people can consider Blackfeather a really good late game carry.
Yeah, you can see right here, Southeast Asia, they're pushing with the Blacklaw. And they have the split push going on in the bot lane with Chingy.
Oh, Chingy's down in the bottom. He may potentially fight if it looks good for them, but currently they're going to let Blacklaw just go to work here. East Asia on the back foot. They want to get some chip damage, but they can't overextend and go down. This is the Angel's
Spaghetti!
Hammer. Spaghetti
Well.
wrecking through with the arc recursion. He's jumped forward. Huge splash damage coming out. East Asia, they've lost no armory in mid and now in top. They're going to block off the splash hammer, jump right back in. Solar Storm tears one through, but the fountain comes out. Aeon, he stays alive. They've turned it around. Royals down. Ingenious is down as well. SEA, they put the boot onto the throne of East Asia. They're down. Southeast Asia looks like they're about to close this out and take the first professional game of 5v5 Vainglory. The Vein Crystal's down. They have done it. SEA.
And what a game that was. That was incredible coming out from SEA. They really took advantage of the entire map, forcing those split pushes, making East Asia play to their own game.
And Ghostwing wasn't even an objective. They tried to go for it. It was too powerful off the back of that team fight that was so close between the two of them. And they exploited a tactic that tore apart a hyper carry tactic. And the benefit of Blackclaw is it's ranged. It attacks the turrets from range periodically, so it's a little bit easier to siege as a unit that wants to stay safe from the backline. That's what allowed Chingy to move to that bot side. And because Glaive is so mobile, because he has afterburn, he could very easily commit to a fight if it broke out in the mid lane. Spaghetti, though, the Southeast Asian hero, jumping in, blowing up VV Royale. Unbelievable.
I mean, Spaghetti was doing work there. Varia, you can see the power of Varia actually out on this map. It's incredible. Using the ultimate, comboed up with the arc recursion, jumping in, dancing around. Incredible stuff.
There's a reason that they added more than 3 targets with the Chain Lightning for Varia. It was gearing up for 5v5. It was beautiful to watch, especially in that last fight. Obviously, Varia in a 5v5 scenario is going to be good. They managed to exploit it by kind of pulling East Asia apart. They found an opening to get onto Baron, or at least Spaghetti found an opening to get onto Baron. I wouldn't have bloody seen that. And he jumped in and blew him up. And once Baron's down, you've taken off half of the hyper carries that they have left.
Yeah, I mean, we saw East Asia early on through the laning phase. Looked like they had a bit of advantage. They were kind of setting the pace up from top lane to bottom lane. They had control of the jungle. They stole some camps away. But as we transition into the mid and the late game, there was huge objectives.